Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura. Everybody, please raise your arms in the air and let's chant the Maha Mantra together. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. 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 Hari We can't hear you. Everybody together. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari. One more time, everybody. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. 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 Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Gaur, Hari Bol. Nitai 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 Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, 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 Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Nitai Gaur Premanande. Avaduta Nitai, Nitai, Nitai Gauranga. 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 Avaduta Nitai Gauranga Nitai, Nitai Gauranga Nitai. Avaduta Nitai Gauranga Nitai, Nitai Gauranga Nitai. Avaduta Nitai Gauranga Nitai, Nitai Gauranga Avaduta Nitai Gauranga Nitai, Nitai Gauranga Nitai. Duta nitai gauranga nitai, nitai gauranga nitai. Duta nitai gauranga nitai, nitai gauranga nitai. Duta nitai gauranga nitai, nitai gauranga
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Prabhuji, we'll wait for 2-3 minutes, then we will start.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. So, Pariksit Prabhu, I think we have quite a few devotees. Whenever you are ready, we can start. Wait for Prabhuji, I think. Hare Krishna. So, Pariksit Prabhu will be speaking. Hare Krishna. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hi, what's your Prabhupada?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, Prabhuji. So, whenever you are ready, we can start.
Okay. I'm supposed to. I sent.
Yes, Prabhuji. Whenever,
yeah.
I'm gonna play that, Prabhuji. So, you want me to put it on the screen?
Yeah. You can put it on the screen.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay. And you can control it from your end.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just let me know. Yep.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Bhanu Pacharani Nirveshesha Sunyavari Pastatya Deshitarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripasuniva eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai. Hare Krishna. So, I've been asked to moderate this evening's, not moderate, but actually be the one as a preacher. We really want to do moderating. Brahma-saṁhitā. Brahma-saṁhitā is a compilation. Samhita means compilation by Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma's realizations and his descriptions are actually quite incredible. The text that we're going to start with today is from chapter 5, and the text is text 46. So I'm going to, that's what's on there first, and I'm going to read, and also the translation, okay? And that you can see, but I'll read the purport out also, and then we'll have some comment about it. Hare Krishna. Okay. Dhipachi eva dasarantam abhivyuditya Dipayate vivita hetu samana dharma Yastagrit eva hicha vishnutaya vivati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Translation: the light of one candle being communicated to other candles, although it burns separately in them, is the same in its quality. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who exhibits himself equally in the same mobile manner in his various manifestations. Now, the purport is not on there, but I'll read the purport. The purport is by the spiritual master of Śrīla Prabhupada, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. And he is very much known for writing with very interesting jugglery of English language, because he's such a scholar, and he uses words that are quite big, but throughout the mercy of my Guru and Lord Guranga will explain some of those. Purport by Śrīla Prabhupada. Well, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada. The presiding deities of Haridham, namely Hari, Narayan, Vishnu, etc., the subjective portions of Krishna are being described. The majestic manifestation of Krishna is Narayan, Lord of Vaikuntha, whose subjective portion is Karanodakshai Vishnu, the prime cause, whose portion is Garbhodakshai. Kshirodakshai is again the subjective portion of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. The word Vishnu indicates all-pervading, omnipresent, and omniscient personality. In this shloka, the activities of the subjective portions of the divinity are enunciated by the specification of the nature of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. The personality of Vishnu, the embodied form of the manifestive quality Sattva Gun, is quite distinct from that of Shambhu, who is adulterated with mundane qualities. Vishnu's subjective personality is on a level with that of Govinda. Both consist of the unadulterated substantive principle. Vishnu, in the form of the manifest causal principle, is identical with Govinda as regards quality. The manifestive quality, Sattva Gun, that is found to exist in the triple mundane quality is an unadulterated entity, being alloyed with the qualities of mundane activity and inertia. Brahma is the dislocated portion of the divinity, manifested in the principle of mundane action, endowed with the functional nature of its subjective portion. And Shambhu is the dislocated portion of the divinity, manifested in the principle of mundane inertia, possessing similarly the functional nature of his subjective portion. The reason for their being dislocated portions is that the two principles of mundane action and inertia being altogether wanting in the spiritual essence, any entities that are manifested in them are located at a great distance from the divinity himself or his facsimiles. Although the mundane manifestive quality is of the adulterated kind, Vishnu, the manifestation of the divinity in the mundane manifestive quality, makes his appearance in the unadulterated manifestive principle, which is the constituent of the mundane manifestive quality. Hence, Vishnu is the full subjective portion and belongs to the category of the superior Ishwaras. He is the Lord of the deluding potency and not unalloyed with her. Vishnu is the agent of Govinda's own subjective nature in the form of a prime cause. All the majestic attributes of Govinda, aggregating 60 in number, are fully present in his majestic manifestation, Narayan. Brahma and Shiva are entities adulterated with mundane qualities. Though Vishnu is also divine appearance in mundane quality, guna avatar, still he is not adulterated. The appearance of Narayan in the form of Mahavishnu, the appearance of Mahavishnu in the form of Garbhodakshai, and the appearance of Vishnu in the form of Kshirodakshai are examples of the ubiquitous function of the divinity. Vishnu is Godhead himself, and the two other guna avatars and all the other gods are entities possessing authority in subordination to him Vishnu, that is. From the subjective majestic manifestation of the Supreme Self-Luminous Govinda emanate Karanodakshai, Garbhodakshai, Kshirodakshai, and all other derivative subjective divine descents avatars such as Ram, etc., analogous to communicated light appearing in different candles, shining by the operation of the spiritual potency of Govinda. Oma Gnati Vedandasya, Gyana Gana Shalakaya, Chakshu Umlitam Yena Tasmai Śrī Gurave Namaha, Śrī Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale, Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dharati Swaparantikam. So clearly, a lot has been described in the purport, but it has been described with wonderful, flowery English, which is very typical of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. So if you're a little concerned about it, I urge you not to be so concerned about it. We'll try as much as possible to break down the purport. So much has been pointed out by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj in the purport. First, if we go to the translation, the light of one candle being communicated to other candles. Although it burns separately in them, is the same in its quality. The light of one candle being communicated to other candles. So clearly, if we're talking about candles, then an analogy is being used here to describe the Lord. So what it is that imagine you have candles, same size, same wick quality, the wick that lights it. There's one candle, the original candle, and that candle represents the Lord Govinda. Now, the lighting of a candle, so here's, you look at Lord Govinda as one candle lighted. The light from one candle, that candle, can be used to light the second candle. And that can be used to light the third candle, and so on. Now, the light from the first candle, when it lights the others, the lighting is the expansion of the Lord. So the Lord expands from one to another, to another, to another. Vishnu, we will go to the specific names later. Krishna is called Govinda, the one who very much pleases the cows and also the senses. That's how Govinda is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So the light of one candle, Lord Govinda or Lord Krishna expands. This is like the expansion is represented by the lighting of a second candle, so on. And so Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj talks about the lighting of the candles or the expansions of Krishna, and he mentions specific ones, and those are the ones in the purport. Now, since the candles are all the same size, it's like the potency of the expansions of Lord Govinda or Krishna, they all have the same potency, the Vishnu Tattvas. When the Lord expands, he does not lose any ability. He doesn't lose any ability, even though we go to expansion. And why does he expand? Well, he expands for different activities. There's Leela avatars, there's Guna avatars, and so on. And the Śrī Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj spends some time on some of these. So the last part of this is, as they say, the candle burns separately, the same in quality, in its quality. That means the potency is there in all the expansions. And the potency is not reduced. There's one thing, though, that changes, and I will come to that one from the expansions, different from Krishna or Govinda. And so Lord Brahma answered, I adore the primeval Lord, the original Lord Govinda, who exhibits himself equally in his expansions, in the same way, in the moment manner, in his various manifestations, in his various expansions. So now let's look at the purport, the way Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj described it. This is the one text that has a long purport. So the deities, he said, the presiding deities of Haridam, the spiritual world, and he calls it Haridam, the Dham of Lord Hari, the spiritual world. The presiding deities there, Lord Hari, Narayan, Vishnu, that's what's being described with the candles. So he says the majestic manifestation of Krishna is Narayan. Why does he use the word majestic? Now, manifestation means expansion, right? He doesn't use the word expansion. He likes to use manifestation. Well, the reason he uses manifestation is because Krishna goes from one entity to another entity. So that's manifesting another entity. Makes himself come to another entity. But we use the word expansion. So the Lord expands himself. So now the expansion of Lord Krishna is Narayan, the Lord of Vaikuntha. The Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky, each planet has one Lord Narayan, and the Lord is worshipped in awe and reverence. This is the difference between the planets in the spiritual sky and the one planet that is the farthest away, which is Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna is worshipped in different relationships or different rasas, some of whom are not in these, present in the other planets in the spiritual world. So in the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha planets that have Narayan as the main personality, it's like the king, he's worshipped in awe and reverence. But in the Goloka Vrindavan, you can have a relationship of servant, you can have a relationship of being a friend, you can have a relationship of being a parent, you can have a relationship of being a mother. Those, or mother or father, those are not present in the other Vaikuntha planets. So Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj doesn't actually describe much of the of Goloka Vrindavan. It just stays with these. So the main deity of all the Vaikuntha planets is Narayan. Now Narayan expands to, and he says, Kayana Dakshaya Vishnu, and then Gabu Dakshaya Vishnu, and then Shiru Dakshaya Vishnu. Actually, he actually jumped a few steps here, which is not bad. I mean, the sequence is correct, but there are some in-betweens. So we'll talk about all of them. So Krishna first expands to Balaram, first plenary expansion. And Balaram expands to the four forms, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Sankirtan, and Pradyumna. They expand to Narayan. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj says the manifestation of Krishna is Narayan. Yes, there is expansion to Narayan, but it goes to Balaram and to the four or forms Chaturvyuha, then to Lord Narayan, the Lord of Vaikuntha. From Lord Vaikuntha, Narayan expands again another set of Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Sankirtan, and Pradyumna. And the Sankirtan of that second set of four expands to the Vishnus that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj is describing. So it's actually more detailed than that. So Karanodakshaya Vishnu is the one who the universes, the Mahatattva, the unmanifested, comes through him, the universes. And then he expands to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the one whose navel springs Lord Brahma. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is also the one that teaches Lord Brahma how to come up with varieties in each universe. So Lord Brahma then becomes the engineer. There's one Lord Brahma for each universe through Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is the one we call the Super Soul, present in all of the living entities, as we say, in the heart of the living entities. So these Vishnus, and then describing of Narayan, this is what Śrī Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj is pointing out with this candles thing. So the Lord expands, and then he jumped a few of them, because Balaram and then the first Chaturvyuha, then to Narayan. But it's the same idea though, going from one candle to another, to another, to another, lighting of different candles. So a few things also are said about the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu especially. You said the activities of the subjective portions of the divinity enunciated by the specification is the nature of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Okay, so we'll talk about Kshirodakshaya Vishnu a little bit. Shira is milk. Udak is water or ocean. And Shai means lying down. So Kshirodakshaya means the Lord Vishnu that lies down in the ocean of milk. There's an ocean of milk in Dhruvaloka. And Kshirodakshaya Vishnu actually was the one that gave the planet to Dhruva. So it's actually Kshirodakshaya Vishnu that owns the planet, but he's also there. So basically what we're saying is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is simultaneously at the milk ocean and also present in every single person. So the Lord is all pervading that way. Is present in all living entities, in the heart of living entities. So in the heart of us, human beings, we are the real person, which is a soul, and then the super soul, both of them are there. And the super soul is represented by Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Now, the lords of the gunas, Sattva-gun, Rajagun, and Tamagun, the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. They are also ruled by Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma. Lord Vishnu is, in fact, the deity or the responsible for mode of goodness, Lord Brahma for mode of passion, and Shambhu or Lord Shiva for mode of ignorance. Now, we're talking about goodness, passion, and ignorance. So those are material qualities. And so Śrī Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj makes the point that Vishnu, although he's controlling Sattva-gun, his situation is different from Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In that Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu Tattva, that is expansion directly of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, even though he controls material goodness, he is not affected by material goodness. Lord Brahma, on the other hand, is under normal circumstances, because we'll get to other things, there are some differences, but sometimes there is a difference, and I'll get to that. But under normal circumstances, Lord Brahma is also a jiva, like us, a living entity, who is going to leave the body at a certain time. The Lord Brahma of our universe has 4 heads, and he will leave the body after 100 years of his time, which is 311 trillion and 40 billion years. A long time. Let's just put it that way. A very, very, very long time. And he's about 50 years old or so, that period that's gone by so far. Now, so Lord Vishnu is responsible for mode of goodness, Sattva-gun. Lord Brahma is responsible for, the planets that we're on now, the mode of passion. And you see that happens quite a bit in this earth here that we're living in. Most of the people are just working very hard, trying to make money and trying to have a better life materially. So this is definitely the abode where passion prevails. Passion prevails. And there's also ignorance, of course, but passion prevails quite a bit in the way people go after making money and trying to live. Lord Brahma controls that. And Lord Shiva is the one who deals with the mode of ignorance. And Shiva deals, with ghosts and hobgoblins and so on. And those ones, he deals with not because he wants them, but because he helps them to elevate in their situation. So Lord Shiva, in one sense, is the controller, but he's also quite helpful and merciful towards these ghosts and hobgoblins. So Lord Vishnu, that the way Śrī Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is describing, Lord Vishnu is on the same level as Krishna. So he is identical then with Krishna. So he's like one of the candles of the same size, in the way this was described by Lord Brahma. Now, he describes something also. He says the triple mundane quality. The triple mundane quality is very simple. Triple mundane quality just simply means, that's his way of saying goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, triple mundane quality. It is, in fact, it's material, okay? Material goodness, material passion, material ignorance. So they are alloyed then. They're not clean. When we say mode of goodness, we describe mode of goodness as being the best, but even people in the mode of goodness, they have some ego situation. For example, somebody may be very kind and decide to pay some money or get a hospital put up, pay for a whole hospital or a building in a hospital, and that hospital has been given their name. Why? Because the person that wanted, the person that put the money up wants somebody to, or people to know that he's the one that, or he or she is the one that's put the money out for that particular hospital. Or a person donates money to a university for a gym, for example. So they put up a gym, and then the person that gave the money for the gym, they put his name on the gym. So you find somebody's name and then the gym. As a matter of fact, when I was teaching at Penn State, there was one science, at the time I went to Penn State in Hazelton. There was one building that was being completed at the time that I was there. And when they finished, they had the opening ceremony with, cutting the ribbon and so on. And they had a guy come, an older guy, to cut the ribbon. And I found out later on that the name that was given to, that he was the one that gave the money for the building to be built. So they had put that building up and his name was put on the building. So I found out the real person who gave the money, and he was the one that was invited to us to come, for the ribbon ceremony, to have, the building then be used for scientific experiments and also for lectures. So yeah, that's more the goodness, material goodness. And more the passion, as I described, people working very hard for money and trying to, enjoy sense gratification. And then the more the passion is when more of ignorance is when people act badly, either hurting themselves or hurting other people. Hurting themselves or hurting other people. You might think, well, how do people hurt themselves? Well, if you put things inside you that's not good for your physical body, we don't own these physical bodies. The Lord owns these physical bodies. Everything is owned by the Lord. So if we put intoxications in our bodies, then we are harming the body. And that is more the goodness. The mode of ignorance, because definitely you have to pay for it, because the Lord cannot or will not allow you to use your body as you like. You have to definitely keep it in good shape and use it to serve Krishna. And so if you put things that you know are bad into your body and say, oh, I just have an addiction. No, it doesn't work like that. You'll have to pay for it. And so more the ignorance is doing something bad to yourself by putting things that are no good or hurting other people. And of course, if you also don't follow the principles of religion properly, then you're also in mode of, or don't believe in Krishna or in God at all, then you're also in the mode of ignorance. An atheist, it's a mode of ignorance. Okay, so this is pretty much what was described here by Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and also Lord Shiva by His Holiness Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. The last point is that Lord Govinda Krishna has aggregates of qualities that are 60 in number. Now, we won't go through all of them, but anyway, there are 60 qualities for manifestation. For Narayan, Govinda, the Lord, has everything, all the qualities in full. And Lord Vishnu has part of it, and I'll get into the percentages a little bit. And then Lord Brahma has part of it, and Lord Shiva has part of it. Now, the percentages are 60 for the Vishnus. That's why I started talking about those, the Vishnu Tattva 60s. The Lord Govinda has 64 qualities. Krishna has 64 qualities. Now, 78% is for Lord Brahma. And we also have 78%. The difference between Lord Brahma and ourselves is that we have 78% of these 64 qualities in very minute quantity, very minute quantity. And the 78% of the 64 qualities that Lord Brahma has, he has it fully. That is the difference between us and Lord Brahma. Now, Lord Shiva, he has a little more, 5 more than Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma is a jiva, but Lord Shiva isn't exactly a jiva. Even if you, and it's not difficult to prove that. Where does Lord Brahma live? Lord Brahma is in Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Where is Satyaloka? It is in the material world. Where does Lord Shiva live? You have to go past the material world to the spiritual world. The Kailash, that area, the outskirts of the spiritual world is where Lord Shiva lives. So Lord Shiva sometimes is looked up as a demigod, but he also has qualities. It's like between Lord Vishnu and then the rest of us who are divas, and for that matter, Lord Brahma also. So one can, in fact, if we perfect these 78% as divas, little ones that we have, you can perfect it and perfect it and perfect it and perfect it and get up to the level of Lord Brahma, and you can, in fact, take Lord Brahma's position. That's if you work towards. But should we really do that? The answer is no, because we are trying to do what? Get back to the spiritual world. For us, the Prabhupada has made it easy for us to transcend everything in the material world and go back to the spiritual world. And we say it's easy because all we have to do is take the chanting seriously. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So a quick wrap up of this section before we go to the next one is that Lord Govinda expands, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj kind of hurried up to Narayan of Vaikuntha, and then the expansion through the other things that I've talked about before, expansion of 4 forms, Vasudeva, Anuruddha, Sankarshan, and Pradumya. So from the Sankarshan form comes the creator of the universes, Mahavishnu or Karanadakshaya Vishnu. The universe comes from his paws as he's lying in the Karana ocean. And then from each one universe, Lord Brahma is born from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and he makes the varieties of planets and the different things that are in here for each universe. And then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who is at the ocean of milk, but also present everywhere. And the Lord is all pervading. He's even present in the bacteria. He's present in all living entities as the super soul. Okay, now before we go on to the next one, are there any questions for 46?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, so you explained that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, you said that it's on the ocean as well as like on the planet, right? Can you elaborate it a little bit? I'm a little
Okay.
confused.
Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Shiro is milk, Shira is milk, yeah. And Udak is the water, or in this case, a liquid or ocean. So it's the ocean of milk. And Shai is lying down. That's what it means. So his name, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, one who lies down on the ocean of milk. Now the Lord can be in Vaikuntha, and it can be Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna can be there and also present in different places. He can expand. So Vishnu is also in the same category of being able to expand. So even though he is there with Dhruva and Dhruva Loka on the ocean of milk, he's also present in everyone's heart, every living entity's heart. The same Kshirodakshaya Vishnu.
Okay, that's
called
how
the
it is.
super soul. Yeah.
Okay, that's how it is super soul. Okay.
Yeah, so he's with us, and whatever we do, he's the one that actually permits our activities to go on.
Sure.
Everything that we do, he permits. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, that is the super soul, called super soul. But also in the ocean of milk in Dhruva, sometimes when situations happen and the demigods get into all kinds of situations that are troublesome to them, they will go to Lord Brahma and complain to Lord Brahma. And what does Lord Brahma do? Lord Brahma takes them to the Svetadweep, to the ocean of milk, and then make the case to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu lying there so to get help as to what they should do. So then Śrī Dasai, we can place that 2 roles. Being there at the Ocean of Milk in Dhuvaloka at Swetadweep. The island is called Swetadweep and the ocean is called Ocean of Milk. And also assisting us, going with us everywhere, one birth after another, one body after another, as a super soul.
Okay.
Everywhere. So he does both.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful explanation.
Yep. Yeah, it's a little technical, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible.
It's so simple, Prabhuji. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Glory to Guranga. All right. Let's go to 47. Next slide. Okay. So the next 47 says, Yakaranarva Jalib, Yakaranarva Na Jalibajati Smayoga, Nidram Ananta Jagadanda Saromakupa, Adhara Shaktim Avalambya Param Swamurtim, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami. Translation: I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who, assuming his own great subjective form, who bears the name of Sesha, replete with all accommodating potency, is reposing in the causal ocean with the infinity of a world in the pause of his hair, enjoys creative sleep, Yoga Nidra. Okay. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who, assuming his own great subjective form, who bears the name of Sesha, replete with all accommodating potency and reposing in the ocean, the causal ocean, with the infinity of the world in the pause, infinity of the world in the pause of his hair, enjoys creative sleep, Nidra. So to break this down, I adore the primeval Lord. We already talked about with the candles analogy, the Lord expanding to different Vishnu forms. Now, the first expansion is Balaram. But Balaram is also one that expands to Sesha. Now, Sesha is the one who serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu, from whom the universe has come to the pores of his hair. Sesha serves by creating a bed of his body, a bed for the Lord to lie on and enjoy the creative sleep. We call creative sleep. He actually is sleeping, is taking a wonderful sleep, but through the sleep also, the pores of his hair, the infinity of the world, as he says, all of the universes are coming out from the pores of his hair. Specifically, when Lord Mahavishnu breathes out, then the universes come out of the pores of his hair. I mean, pores of his skin, like that, comes out of the skin through the pores. So Sesha, in the meantime, provides the sleeping bed, and this is all in the causal ocean. So let's go into a little bit. I think there's some this is 47. Let me see if this purport. Yeah, okay. So let me read the purport and then talk a little bit more about it. So this is Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj preaching. The subjective nature of Ananta, who has a form of the couch of Mahavishnu, is described. Ananta, who is the same as the infinite couch on which Mahavishnu reposes, is a distinctive appearance of the divinity bearing the name of Sesha and having the subjective nature of the servant of Krishna. All right, so this is a short one. What he's saying is about Ananta or Sesha, same name, Ananta or Sesha. He has a form of a couch. We say a bed that Mahavishnu lies on. He prefers Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj to use the word couch, but it's like a bed, and Mahavishnu is this, lies on that bed. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj says, Lord Sesha or Ananta, who plays the role of being the provider of the bed or couch for Mahavishnu to lie down in his yoga sleep, yoga nidra, is also an expansion of the divinity of Krishna. Actually, it comes from Balaram, but Balaram comes from Krishna. So he plays a role as the servant of Krishna, providing a servant of Vishnu, in this case, providing the bed for Mahavishnu to lie on. So what's going on? And they did in fact mention the causal ocean. So I'll just say something from the purport of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the Prabhupada. So in the spiritual sky, the effulgence is from the Brahma-jyoti, which is the effulgence of Krishna himself. So all of the planets are effulgent in the spiritual sky. What we have here as a sun, that's just a reflection. Just a reflection. With the sun in the material world is a reflection of the Brahma-jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord. So in the spiritual world, sometimes a spiritual cloud appears. And the covered portion of it is what's called the unmanifested material nature, or the Mahatattva. So Mahavishnu lies down within the water of the Mahatattva. So if this is all in the spiritual world, that's called the causal ocean. And causal ocean, and you see a connection between this causal ocean and the name of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu's other name is Karanadakshayi Vishnu. Karanadakshayi Vishnu. Why? The causal ocean is called Karan. The causal ocean that he lies on is called Karan. So again, Karanadakshayi Vishnu or Mahavishnu, Karan means causal, Udak, ocean or liquid, and Shai is lying down. So Mahavishnu is Vishnu lying down in the causal ocean. And Sesha provides the bed, or as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur likes to describe it, the couch for which he lies on. So when Mahavishnu sleeps on this causal ocean, then innumerable universes, as I said earlier, are generated along with his breathing. So when they come out, these universes, they float. They float and they scatter all around the causal ocean. And they stay there during the breathing out, breathing period of Mahavishnu. So in every universal globe or universe, then as I said earlier, this is a little bit of review. Mahavishnu enters as Gavadakshaya Vishnu and lies there on this serpent-like Sesha incarnation. And then his navel sprouts a lotus stem, and this is how Brahma gets born. And Brahma creates all the different forms of living beings in each universe, one Brahma for each universe. So when Karanadakshayi or Mahavishnu breathes in, then all of this, the universes go back to him through the pores, back to his body. So his breathing out, Mahavishnu or Karanadakshayi Vishnu, when he breathes out, the universes come out. And when he breathes in, the universes go back in. So the time which, for our example of this particular universe, Lord Brahma with the 4 heads, he lives 311 trillion years and 40 billion years, 311.04 trillion years. That is one breathing out of Mahavishnu, where he is positioned, where this Lord Brahma is positioned. And so when that time finishes and Lord Brahma leaves the body, that universe goes back into the Lord's body, Mahavishnu's body. And at that time, all the other universes, as he's breathing in, they're all coming. Now, there are Lord Brahma for each universe. So there are some universes, Lord Brahma lives longer than 311 trillion years, longer than that. So when the Lord is breathing in, then these universes are coming. Some universes will go, and some universes, as he's breathing in, they are coming. So some of them would take that time, some of them would take a little longer time before they get to where the pores are to get inside. So they all don't go in at one time, 311. 311 trillion years is for just that one Brahma, for what that one universe. Different universes, they will also come out when Lord breathes out, but they will go in at a time when Lord is breathing in and in and in. When he finishes breathing, Vishnu finishes breathing, all of the universes have gone into the body at that time. Then he breathes out again and they come back out, and life still continues with Lord Brahma and the different those who didn't make it to the spiritual world. They'll continue whatever they desire in whatever universe that Yamaraj arranges to put them. So this is going on in the material world. So Sesha is like, he has a serpent-like feature. It's like a snake. He's actually a snake with so many hoods. And he lies down, and the Lord Vishnu is lying on him, and with his nose at the causal ocean, the Karana ocean, then the breathing out, the universes are coming. So that's the way the universes come up. And Lord Brahma helps with the varieties of each universe. Okay. Are there any questions for that too also? Okay, let's look at 48. Probably we just have enough time. We may look at 48, 49, but go to 48 now. Yashe kanis vasita kalam atavalambya Divantilo Mavilada Jagadananata Vishnu Nathan Sahi Ayasha Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Translation: Brahma and other lords of the mundane worlds, appearing from the pores of Mahavishnu, remain alive as long as the duration of one exhalation of the latter, Mahavishnu. I adore the primeval Lord, Govinda, whose subjective personality, Mahavishnu, is the portion of the portion. Actually, okay, let me look at the purport for this one. The very, very short purport, just one sentence. The supreme majesty of the subjective nature of Vishnu is shown here. Now, basically, everything that has been talked about in translation, I've just described it. Brahma and the lords of the mundane worlds, the other universes, they appear from the pores of the hair of Mahavishnu, and they remain alive as long as one exit, and the Lord is breathing out, Mahavishnu, and then they go back in when the Lord breathes in. So that's basically the description here. Now, the only other thing about that translation is, I adore the primeval Lord, of whose subjective personality, Mahavishnu, is the portion of the portion. So why did he say portion of portion? These are expansions. There are Amsa and Kala. Iti Chamsa Kala Punsam, Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam, as he said in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. So there are portions of the Lord, expansions of the Lord. When we say portion, it means expansion. Portion of the portion is expansion of the expansion. Just like the original text that said there's one candle, so it's like one candle, the primeval Lord, Lord Govinda, Lord Krishna, expanding to Balaram, that's one candle going to another, same potency. The next candle to Balaram expanding to, so Balaram is a portion or expansion of Krishna, and then the next that Balaram expands to is a portion of the portion. Okay, so that's the description that's being given here. So yes, Mahavishnu is a portion of a portion. As a matter of fact, if we count all of, we might say portion of the portion of the portion of the portion, even longer than that. But the point is, he is an expansion of the expansion of Lord Krishna. It's the expansion. First is Balaram. The expansion is of Balaram is Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Sankirtan, and Pradyumna. The expansion of that is Narayan. The expansion again is the second Vasudeva and Aniruddha, Sankirtan, and Pradyumna. And then the expansion of Sankirtan, the second one, is Mahavishnu. So strictly speaking, we can say portion of the portion of the portion of the portion. But it's same in terms of the potency though. The potency is there. Krishna does not lose potency becoming Vishnu. But Krishna has different pastimes, whereas Mahavishnu is for yoga nidra, the sleeping, and the portion, the universes coming out of his pores. So this, what Krishna does is depending on what it is or function that Krishna wants to perform. There's a different Vishnu that does that. He expands for Vishnu to do a particular thing that he wants done. So when it comes to the creation, he gets the creation done through, and the supervision of it through Mahavishnu, who's the creator, then Gavadakshaya Vishnu for each universe, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu for each entity, living entity, like that. And so you will not hear Super Soul or, as we call it, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu having a good time in the Ras dance with the gopis. That Krishna does. It's a different quality. So it doesn't mean that he can't dance or that he can't play a flute. Even he just doesn't do it. The ability is there. It's the same. No potency is lost, but Krishna, by his own sweet will, expands into different functions, different Vishnus or different forms and different expansions for different tasks, what he wants to do. There is no, why does he do that? It's his own supreme will. He does it out of his supreme will. That's all. All right. Are there any questions for this one? Describing portion of the portion. Okay. It's 8:30. And so maybe I can stop here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanu Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru
Glories
Maharaj.
to
Very
Srila
nice class,
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji.
Jai.
Very nice class. Prabhuji, I have a question. Like when Lord Brahma comes, from the navel of the Lord Vishnu.
Yeah.
So some of the Brahma have 3 heads, some of have 100 or 1,000, like, as we read from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
So how is it decided that the Brahma has, for this universe, is going to be with a 3 head or more than 3 head, or So how is it decided? Is it based on like size of the universe or complexity or something? And also my second question was like, how are the living entities are different in those planets, basically, where the Brahma is more intelligent?
Well, let's take a first question. The first question. So you are concerned about literally how Lord Brahma looks. Now, what it says in the scriptures is when Lord Brahma, for this particular universe, came out of the navel, the sprout of the lotus flower, and he came out, he didn't know what was going on. You could say, advisedly, he was like kind of confused, didn't know what was going on. And so in his thoughts of wanting to know the different directions, he was given 4 heads so you can look east, west, north, and south. So this is how that came about. Now, I don't know about this particular situation for the other Brahmas, but there definitely are, the scripture only talk about there are other Brahmas with, 8 heads and 16 heads, and you see they just go to a multiple of that, 16 times 2, 32, then 64, and 128, and 256 heads, all the way up to 1 million heads. They're all there. Now, the one thing that is definite about these other Brahmas is that the universes that they control get progressively bigger and bigger the more heads the Lord Brahma has. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, again, you're talking about creation from Krishna. I don't know why that the things are done out of his supreme will. You could say that Krishna could do everything, basically all the creation, all that, but he prefers to expand himself to Vishnu and different Vishnus for different things that he does. So yeah, the Lord Brahma, our Lord Brahma has 4 heads, but there are Lord Brahmas that have many more, has multiples of 4, multiples of even multiples of 4, like that. And they all control larger planets, and live longer than our Lord Brahma. That definitely, there's a correlation between the size of the Lord Brahma in terms of the heads. Now, I didn't mention anything about intelligence because I don't know that the other ones have more intelligence than this Lord Brahma, but we'll just see what the Shastra talk about. Yeah, the different numbers of heads. And this particular Lord Brahma, wanting to know directions all at once, was given that Gaudaksha Vishnu gave him the ability to see in all 4 directions at the same time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any more questions? I won't take any other. We will stop here at 48. I think is where we are. Yeah, 48. Any more questions? There is one. Oh, okay. From Dear Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to the Prabhupada. Okay. I heard each universe has as many dimensions as the number of Lord Brahma's heads. For example, our universe has 4 dimensions, not 3 as people generally think, as our Brahma has 4 heads. Okay, that's a whole topic in itself. But yeah, good point you make. Our Lord Brahma does not have 3 heads, it has 4 heads for all directions. Now, the reason I won't get into it, because if we really talk about the different directions, we didn't get to it. We didn't get the other shlokas coming up. Will mention about the directions because they're actually supposed to be 10 directions. But the simplest form of directions that we know are north, south, east, and west. So there's a 4. Lord Brahma can look. But I said 10 directions because, well, they need to be discussed later on the next sessions. But in between, say, north and east is northeast, 45 between. Between the east and south is southeast, 45 degrees in between. Between the south and the west is southwest, and between the west and north is northwest. So those are also taken as directions. So that's 4 more directions: north, south, east, and west. And then you have northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. That's that. Now, if you imagine all of them on one plane of a paper, draw like that, then up and down are 2 other directions. So that's 10. But that will be described with whoever pleases next time. Śrī Bhakti Saraswati Thakur gets into this whole thing about 10 directions. But the basic, simpler one, the Lord Brahma wanted to see where, what was going on. And so east-west, the 90-degree type of angles, east, west, and south and north, were in fact offered him by being given 4 heads to see at the same time. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah,
So
please. If anybody has questions, please ask. Prabhuji gave a fire-packed class, like in 1 hour, covered so many things about the qualities, percentage of qualities, and the whole expansion. So please feel free to ask questions if you have any.
If you have any more. It gets technical sometimes. There's a whole lot of numbers. Some of it I didn't even want to really get into. But let's just say it's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And the way you was describing, like the 68%, 78%, oh my God, that's like totally things. Yeah, we heard like 60 qualities, 64, but yeah, percentage. So
yeah, sometimes they talk like Krishna has 64 and the Vishnu Tattvas have 4 less than that, and then Lord Shiva and then Lord Brahma. Sometimes I remember the percentages, not so much the actual numbers but basically if you take the percentage, you just multiply it by 64 and then it gives you the actual number of qualities. Yeah.
thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, so I think nobody has questions. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your time. In spite of your health, you came up and just helped us.
By Krishna's mercy, I can still preach.
Yeah.
Right? They let me preach. I'm
Sure.
not too sick.
Yeah. So quickly do, if you want to stay here, Prabhuji, you can stay, or we can quickly do Narshing Aarti. And
You'll have your kids do Nrsimha Aarti?
yes, Prabhuji, let me ask.
Okay.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Yay. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa smiva evacha atitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Prabhupada ki jai.
Anybody would like to do Aarti on the call? Any kids? Okay.
Bhavya's on there.
Yeah, then Bhavya will do, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladeladedaine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankhanakhalaye Ito Narsingo Parito Narsingo Yato yato yamitato narsingo Pahe narsingo hrityahe narsingo Narasingamadim sharanam prapadye Tava karakamalavare nakhan Adbhuta shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev Bhakti Vignanashtika Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai.
Yay.
Raj ki jai. Śrī Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari Hari Bo. Jai. Thank you very much for allowing me to do the service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Coach, good evening.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, wish I could see more people, but that's the way it is. I don't push for.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Jai, Pariksit, Prabhupada.
Thank you all for joining in today. Hare Krishna. See you next
Hare-
week.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Jai.